Nothing says Easter like a bunch of beautifully dyed eggs. Every year, I look forward to this tradition, and now that I get to do it with my daughter, it's even more special. Forget those store-bought kits. We're keeping it simple with food coloring and a few kitchen staples. Whether I'm going for soft pastels or bold, vibrant hues, this method always works like a charm. Plus, I get to do it with my daughter, which makes it even more special. Now, if you're dyeing eggs with little kids, be ready to move fast. While I'm setting up the bowls and mixing colors, my daughter is already eyeing the dye, barely containing her excitement and impatience. It's a race against time to get everything ready before little hands start dunking eggs into whatever color is closest. But honestly, that's part of the fun. So, let's get started. Before we start, my daughter and I make sure our workspace is ready. Trust me, dyeing eggs can turn into an artistic mess. Ask me how I know. So we lay down some paper towels or a baking sheet to keep things somewhat under control. She loves setting up the cooling rack. It helps the eggs dry evenly and keeps them from rolling all over the place, which has happened more times than I can count. Now for the fun part. First, we grab several small bowls and fill each one with room temperature water. One bowl for each color we're using. It's important that the water isn't too hot or too cold, or else the dye won't set evenly. Next, my daughter gets to do her favorite part, adding the food coloring. She carefully squeezes in a few drops at a time, watching as the clear water transforms into vibrant shades. Sometimes she gets a little overexcited and adds way too much, which results in some surprisingly intense colors. But hey, we love experimenting. Then I add a splash of white vinegar to each bowl. This step is crucial because the vinegar helps the dye bond to the eggshell, making the colors more vibrant and long-lasting. I give each bowl a quick stir to make sure everything is evenly mixed. Now comes the real challenge, getting the perfect shade. The more drops of food coloring my daughter adds, the deeper and richer the color gets. She's always eager to see how the eggs turn out, so we do a few test dips to find the best shades. Sometimes she mixes colors just to see what happens, which can go really well, or turn into a brownish mystery color. But hey, that's part of the fun. Oh, and if you're wondering where to get the food coloring and all the tools we used, don't worry. I'm leaving links to everything in the description below. Because let's be honest, when you're in the middle of dyeing eggs with kids, the last thing you want is to realize you're missing something crucial. And trust me, I've been there. Alright, time to give these eggs a makeover. My daughter is beyond excited for this part, and honestly, I am too. We use a spoon to gently lower one egg at a time into the dye bath. But let's be real. At some point, she just starts plopping them in like a mini scientist testing a crazy experiment. She watches in fascination as the colors change, completely mesmerized, and always insists on leaving hers in just a little longer for extra bold shades. The best part? The pure joy of experimenting with colors and seeing what unexpected shades we can come up with. But let's just say, I've learned the hard way that some colors don't mix well together. Turns out, murky brown isn't the vibrant shade we were hoping for. This is where things get extra fun and extra messy. At some point, she abandons the spoon altogether and just starts using her hands, which means by the end of it, our kitchen looks like a rainbow exploded. and her fingers are a masterpiece of their own. But honestly, those are the moments I'll always cherish. Did you know that painting eggs has been a tradition for centuries? It's not just something we do for fun. It actually has deep roots in history. Many cultures have seen eggs as a symbol of renewal and rebirth, which makes sense since Easter falls right in the middle of spring. The tradition of dyeing eggs for Easter goes way back to early Christians in Mesopotamia. They would dye eggs red to symbolize the blood of Christ. Over time, this spread across Europe, and different regions added their own special touch. In Eastern Europe, people started making pisanki eggs. These aren't just dyed, they're little masterpieces with intricate wax-resist patterns that families pass down through generations. And guess what? Even medieval English nobility got in on the egg decorating fun. They would exchange eggs covered in gold leaf as fancy Easter gifts. Of course, I don't have gold leaf lying around, so we'll stick to food coloring for now. Today, families all over the world still keep this tradition alive, using everything from natural dyes to bold, vibrant colors. And here we are, carrying on the tradition in our own way, complete with messes, laughter, and lots of colorful hands. Once our eggs reach the perfect color, we lift them out with a spoon and place them on the cooling rack. My daughter takes charge of patting them dry with a paper towel, which sometimes means colorful fingers all around. Pro tip: if we don't want our hands to look like a rainbow for the next 2 days, we grab some gloves. But let's be real, we usually forget, and she ends up with multicolored fingers while I laugh and tell myself I'll remember next year. And just like that, we've got beautifully dyed Easter eggs. No fancy kits needed. Whether we're filling baskets, decorating our table, or saving them for an egg hunt, these eggs always turn out amazing. Most importantly, we get to share the fun together. And that's what makes it truly special. Let me know what fun color combinations you try. And don't forget to like and subscribe for more Easter DIYs. Happy Easter and happy egg decorating. Want to take your Easter eggs to the next level? Check out my next video on gold painted Easter eggs. It's an easy and fun way to add a little extra shine to your holiday decor.